Welcome back to the channel, everyone. CryptoTakeOver here, coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We're going over two news articles, taking a look at the charts. Bitcoin sitting right at about 35,200. So we recently had a nice little retracement back up, maybe finding support. We'll take a look at the charts here in a second. And we have two articles today. Our first article, Bitcoin rebounds while leaving everyone in the dark on true worth. So I'm not too sure what's going on here. And then also we have our next article here talking about lost passwords lock millionaires out of their Bitcoin fortunes. And that's from New York Times article here. So we'll take a look at that first. We'll take a look at that second, and then we'll jump over here. Let's go ahead and cue that intro and get started. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that we make on this channel each and every single day, going over Bitcoin cryptocurrencies on this channel. So we got Bitcoin rebounding as it leaves people in the dark on the net worth, the true net worth. I'm not too sure what's going on here. Bitcoin's rebound after Monday. Steep plunge left investors gasping for clues about what lies ahead for the world's largest cryptocurrency. The digital coin rose 4.9% to 35,600 as of 11:30 a.m. in London, following the yesterday's slide. 11% slide. The latest about the roller coaster volatility recalls past boom and bust cycles, including the 2017 bubble, as has investors debating whether this is a healthy correction or the end of the latest bull run for the cryptocurrencies. We think a pullback is healthy, said David Greider, lead digital strategist at Fundstrat Global Advisor LLC, who added he doesn't think the recent price action indicates that Bitcoin has already topped out. Yeah, and that's the thing, folks. I mean, I was watching a video this morning. Modern Investor just put out a video. He said, if this has you scared of, if this little bitty dip has you scared of Bitcoin, then by all means get out now. And that's straight up, like, he couldn't have said it any better. Because if you've been here for the past 3-4 years, that volatility is going to be here with Bitcoin, and that these drops are going to happen. These 10%, 18-20% drops are going to happen. And even during a bull market cycle, we've seen all the way up to a 35% retracement in our previous bull run in 2017 as well. So for us to put in a 10 to 15% retracement, it doesn't need to be that big of a deal, right? Investors who bought the digital coin a year ago still thinking on gains exceeding 300%, pinpointing who is mainly responsible for the rally is one of the many crypto mysteries. Bitcoin funds, momentum chaser, billionaires, day traders, companies, and even institutional investors have been cited just as hard as working out what caused the recent two-day drop of as much as 26%. So this was only a 26% drop, and like I said before, we've seen up to 35% retracements all the way back in 2017 bull run too as well. For some, a bounce in the dollar may be among the reason. The greenback has snapped a prolonged losing streak after rising U.S. government bond yields bolster is allure. There's signs that retail investors are taking profit, said Ryan Regbigala, the global head of trading at OSL. Heightened volatility is often correlated with an uptick in the retail participation. At the same time, the world remains awash with monetary and official simulation, and some of money could yet gravitate to crypto assets. Bitcoin believers continue to tout the digital currency as a valuable hedge against inflation and the potential debasement of the fiat currencies. Some forecast its long-term price range of $146,000 to $400,000. Yeah, so that's the thing, folks. I mean, I do believe that everything else is lining up to say that Bitcoin's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And so for you to kind of get scared out of a 26% retracement, by all means, then you probably don't need to be in this space. And if that scares you, then you need to do a little bit more research. You need to understand the psychology of these markets and how they can definitely try to shake out the weak hands too as well. But over here on this channel, we've been hodling for a relatively long time, and we continue to hodl and then also learn more about strategies and trading this market too as well. So let's take a look at our next article here. Lost passwords lock millionaires out of their Bitcoin fortunes. And we have this picture of this guy over here. Not 100% too sure who this is. But apparently, Bitcoin owners are getting rich because the cryptocurrency has soared. But what happens when you can't access your wealth because you forgot your passwords to your digital wallet? And this is all about being your own bank, folks. Of course, this is going to come out during a recent sell-off. People are going to get freaked out because I just thought that this article was very relevant to the fact that Bitcoin's kind of seen a retracement, and then you're going to get these bearish articles talking about, are you sure you want to hold your private keys because this guy got locked out of his Bitcoin wallet and doesn't know how to access it. First of all, this guy's probably I'm all right. I'll digress. I'm not going to say like complete mental, but maybe a little mental. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not too sure how long he's had this, but apparently he had over 7,002 Bitcoin in a wallet. Now, why you would leave 7,002 Bitcoin in one Bitcoin wallet? I'm not 100% sure. You know, that's up to your own, I guess, digression. Whether or not you keep all your crypto on one exchange or something like that. Obviously, you know, I would say that it's a better strategy to probably, have a few different wallets that you're going to be using for a period of time. But we also go over this in our beginner's path to cryptocurrency course. And so if you're brand new to crypto and you don't know how to save your private information, I highly recommend that you check out the beginner path to crypto course available in the link in the description box on Teachable. And if y'all want to go over there and check that out, I'd highly recommend it if you're brand new to crypto. Let's see, I would say I would just lay in bed and think about it. Then I would go to the computer with a new strategy and it wouldn't work. I would get desperate again. Yeah, so this guy, man, I would imagine that this guy's probably had bought Bitcoin years ago and then somehow he left it on a computer, completely forgot about it. But the cryptocurrency's unusual nature has amount that there are many who have locked out of their Bitcoin fortunes as a loss of their forgotten keys. They have been forced to watch helpless as the price has risen and fallen dramatically, unable to cash in on their digital wealth. You know, so that's the thing, folks. A lot of people didn't know that Bitcoin was going to be worth this much. And lo and behold, you know, when it hits $35,000 a couple of years later, they're scrambling to try and find those hard drives. And we've heard about this countless many a times before. We've seen the memes that are saying, well, I guess I'm getting out of crypto because Bitcoin retraced from $10 to $8. And it's like, and then, you know, they're talking about that years ago. And a couple of years later, we're at $20,000, you know. Of the existence of 8.5 million Bitcoin, around 20%, currently worth about 140 billion, appear to be in lost or otherwise standard wallets. According to the cryptocurrency data firm Chain Analysis, Wallet Recovery Services, a business that helped find lost digital keys, said it has gotten 70 requests a day from people who want to help recover their riches, 3 times the number of a month ago. Bitcoin owners who are locked out of their wallets speak of endless days and nights frustrated as they have tried to access their fortunes. Many have owned the coin since Bitcoin's early days a decade ago, and no one had confidence that the tokens would be worth anything. And there you go, that, you know, just coming out of what exactly I just say. Through the years, I would say I have spent hundreds of hours trying to get back these wallets. And as Brad Yasher, an entrepreneur in Los Angeles who has a few desktop computers that contain thousands of Bitcoin he created or minted or mined during the early days of technology. While those Bitcoin are now worth hundreds of millions of dollars, he lost his passwords many years ago and put the hard drives containing them in a vacuum sealed bags out of sight. I don't want to be reminded every day that I have now is what a fraction of what it could have lost. So yeah, obviously, you know, make sure that you're doing your due diligence out there. You're staying safe out there, folks. You cannot underestimate the security purposes when it comes to these crypto assets. And so you want to make sure that you're doing your best to make sure that you stay secure out there, and that you're protecting yourself, but also making sure that you're not going to forget things like this in the future, and make sure that you're doing your own due diligence when it comes to remembering your passwords or whatever. However you got to do it, you know. But obviously there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this, and we talk about some of those ways inside of our Path to Cryptocurrency course as well in the links in the description box. let's see, and it just talks about, you know, the rise of Bitcoin basically here, Mount Gox, so a bunch of different things. The risk of being your own bank comes with the reward of being able to freely access money and to be citizens of the world. That is worth it. Yeah. So obviously becoming your own bank when it comes to storing your private keys and your information, that's all part of the plan and that's part of the process. You have to be responsible when it comes to this market. Just like when you're trading, you know, you're only going to use a percentage of your portfolio. You're not going to be going all in when it comes to trading Bitcoin too as well. So folks, yeah, we'll digress from this, but obviously stay safe out there. You know, I'm sure a lot of these people are going to be coming out talking about how they had this much Bitcoin when Bitcoin was only $10 and stuff like that, and then they bought pizza with it or whatever. They bought a pair of socks. So I'm sure that's going to be coming back around again once Bitcoin starts to take off once again. But obviously, you know, this does suck, but it just means that you have to make sure you do your own due diligence and you're staying safe out there when it comes to investing in these assets where it's basically your responsibility from start to finish. So without further ado, let's move over into our charts and see what's going on. All right, Bitcoin sitting right here at about 35,200. We did have a nice little price spike as of last night. Looks like we are currently putting in somewhat of a little bit of a top pattern here, but we could be wanting to possibly move up. We have a price target range up here for us too as well. I sent that price target out to our Discord members last night. So if y'all are interested in joining our private trading group, be sure to jump on over into Patreon. If you want to pay with credit card or debit card, you can use the payment processor through Patreon, and then I can give you a link to our Discord server. If you want to pay with crypto, message me in Discord or shoot me an email. We can talk about it there. But folks, we are starting to see here on our lower time frames that we can see we're finding support between two different levels right now. We have our green trend line up here where we topped out at almost that $42,000 area. And then we're starting to see this bottom trend line down here with our purple trend line where we did kind of make a nice little bottom right at about 30K. So between 35,000, I would say, so right now we're still ranging between the 39,000 area and the 30,000 area. So 30K is going to probably be a struggle for us to maybe break up or down in one direction or the other. I would imagine that we'll probably see some consolidation out to the side here. You can see on Cipher B, this is our 30-minute time frame. Our money flow is starting to move up to the top side, but we're starting to see some consolidation out to the side here with our money flow pattern. And so what I'd like to see is for our 30 minutes start to move up into that greenish territory for us to continue up a little bit further. So if we start to zoom out here on our 45 minute also showing some nice recovery here with money flow too as well. We'd probably want to see money flow continue to move to the upside. It does look like we're kind of looking a little stagnant right now. Probably still a lot of people had taken their profits back up at $42,000, and that's why we had this big sell-off here. I mean, for us to move from $20,000 to $42,000 is definitely a nice little run, and I'm sure people are going to be taking profits. And this is definitely a psychology game when it comes to these sell-offs and making sure that you're not getting shaken out too as well. So let's keep going up into these higher time frames here and start to see when we might get some recovery. Looking at the hourly time frame, you can also see Cipher B telling us that it does look like our money flow is starting to kind of thin out from our red money flow here. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Folks, if y'all are interested in what indicators we're using on TradingView, we use the Market Cipher indicator by CryptoFace alongside with the TI sequential by Tone Vase and the Market Guide buy and sell signal. So if you want to check out some of those indicators, there's links in the description box below. Any of the links that you click in the description box help support the channel, or you can just leave a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that way you can help support the channel for free. So yeah, let's also go into maybe our 2 hours, see what's going on here over here. You can see that we did have a nice little dip into our red money flow on our 2 hour time frame here too, but it does more or less look like we are starting to recover just a tad bit. I would still be a little cautious. We are finding some rejection at one of our logarithmic fib extensions here, And so this is our halfway logarithmic fib extension. We did break up above it, but now we're starting to kind of bounce in between these two areas as of right now. Taking a look at our 4-hour, let's see what's going on over here. 4-hour, Cipher B is still showing that the money flow is getting a little thin here. So I'd be a little hesitant that this may roll over. We'll have to just keep a really close eye on it. Obviously, if you're in a trade, we probably want to make sure that we use a stop loss here. But our higher time frames, such as our 8-hour and our 12-hour, are still looking relatively good. Actually, kind of coming into our higher time frames here, looking at the 10-hour, our 10-hour does show a nice little trigger wave down to the bottom side here that looks like we could be getting a green dot here relatively soon back to the upside. So I'm actually looking for probably a push above our logarithmic chart here. And our fib logarithmic level here to send us back up maybe above our 21 EMA, which is at 36,100. So I would look for a quick recovery on the 10-hour chart. This is our 10-hour chart here, back up above our 21 EMA. And then if we move on over into our 12-hour chart, let's see what's going on over here. 12-hour chart also looking like it's ready for a recovery too as well. You can see that we've been holding nice support on our 21 EMA on our 12-hour chart, which is right at about 35,100. So if we do close below 35,100, below our 21 EMA, I'd be a little bit more bearish, but we did have a nice recovery above it. The next candle that did open on our 12-hour chart did close above our 21 EMA. So we'll have to wait to see how much this wants to recover. It does more or less look like on Cipher B on our 12-hour chart that we could be getting a green dot relatively soon. So I wouldn't be too bearish right now. I think that our lower time frames just need a little bit more time to recover with that money flow, and then more than likely we'll continue back up to the top side here. Daily chart, finding nice support on our 21 EMA here. That that nice little sell-off wick here, more of a liquidation, or I would say more of a consolidation, liquidity move to the downside here, but also not going below our 21 EMA support on our 1-day chart. So that still leaves a little bit more of a bullish taste in my mouth. And we can also see on our daily chart that our money flow still looks really thick here. It's looking good, folks. So I wouldn't be too scared right now. Obviously, more or less this is kind of more of a liquidity move for maybe some of the exchanges to perpetual swaps, and make sure they have liquidity on the market too as well. Looking at our 2-day, we did get a red dot here, but I don't feel that this is going to have a big significance. I do feel that some of our mid time frames are probably still wanting to recover here. 3-day red dot too as well. So yeah, I think that we'll still get these Christmas tree patterns on some of these higher time frames, possibly red and then green. As we've seen before, Bitcoin likes to give us those Christmas patterns pretty much throughout the weeks and throughout the months too as well during our bull market rallies. So definitely keeping a close eye on that, but I do think that our mid time frames are wanting to probably see somewhat of a recovery here. So it looks like we are needing to get above our 21 EMA on some of these mid time frames, and as we start to see these squeezes with our two EMAs, the 100 and the 21 EMA, we'll move one direction or the other. So with that being said, folks, we'll take a look at the dominance chart, see what's going on here too as well. Taking a look just here at the 4-hour, I can already see some anchor trigger waves that are being formed here on our 4-hour charts. So market Cipher B giving us a bullish divergence here, but also showing us a nice anchor wave, and then we are getting another trigger wave to the upside here. Money flow kind of looking thin for the most part, but still I would say that we get a nice bounce here on the Bitcoin dominance chart to send us back up maybe a little bit further to our possible price targets that we had drawn out on our charts in the beginning. Yeah, and then let's see here. So yeah, definitely looking like we could see some type of recovery here in the near term future, but we'll have to kind of wait to see how this wants to play out for the charts too as well. If not, I would say that more than likely 30K consolidation, somewhere between 30K and 39K consolidation would be a healthy consolidation for Bitcoin too moving forward. And then if we go over here to our fiat charts, take a look at the dollar, see what's going on over here with the dollar too as well. 8-hour chart, already getting our red dot here on our 8-hour chart too as well. Money flow did look like it wanted to recover just a tad bit, but folks, if we zoom out here on the dollar, it just doesn't look pretty at all. Our money flow on market Cipher B is just ready to continue to sell off here. So this short-lived rally, I believe this is a short-lived rally, and then it will more than likely continue to super hyperinflate whenever we continue to sell off. I think it might take a little bit longer than expected. Our 21-hour on Cipher B definitely looking like maybe ready to put in a red dot here relatively soon, and then we'll more than likely start to trickle back to the other side. Daily may take a little bit longer to play out here on Cipher B to give us that red dot. We could get above our 0 pivot point, but that would give us another tight trigger wave and probably shoot us back down to the downside, giving us maybe possible blood diamond or a yellow X again. But if we can close above our trend line here, then hey, maybe it means that we are bullish. But we'll have to see how this next candle reacts here on our daily with the DXY and the dollar index value. So with that being said, folks, more than likely looking for a little bit of consolidation range for Bitcoin, right in the 30K area, from like 30 to 39. I would say somewhere right around in there. Once we see some consolidation out to the side, Bitcoin's going to make a move. It's probably going to be a big move, more or less. So just be prepared for it, folks. It may not happen. We may not get our next big move until the end of January. So we just got to be patient in these markets. A great time to dollar cost average, and make sure you keep your HODL hands strong out there. So folks, don't forget to join us in our Patreon page if you're interested in learning about some of our altcoins that we're trading. We're getting into in and out of this market. I share all those alts and how we're trading them too as well inside of our Discord server. So yeah, if once you join our Patreon page, I'll shoot you a message to make sure that I have your Discord username, and then I can give you access to our private categories on our Discord server. And then with that being said, folks, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video with your friends and family if they are interested in cryptocurrency. Share us on Facebook, wherever you'd like to, and I'll see you all in the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.